Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Gita as it is. Chapter number 4, Transcendental Knowledge. Text number 34. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadyakshanti te jnanam gnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Purport. The path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult. The Lord therefore advises us to approach a bona fide spiritual teacher in the line of disciplic succession from the Lord himself. No one can be a bona fide spiritual master without following this principle of disciplic succession. The Lord is the original spiritual master, and a person in disciplic succession can convey the message of the Lord as it is to his disciple. No one can be spiritually realized by manufacturing his own process, as is the fashion of the foolish pretenders. The Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 3, Text 19 says, Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. The path of religion is directly enunciated by the Lord. Therefore, mental speculation or dry arguments cannot help lead one to the right path. Nor by independent study of books of knowledge can one progress in spiritual life. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive the knowledge. Such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender, and one should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant without false prestige. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Inquiries and submission constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding. Unless there is submission and service, inquiries from the learned spiritual master will not be effective. One must be able to pass the test of the spiritual master, and when he sees the genuine desire of the disciple, he automatically blesses the disciple with genuine spiritual understanding. In this verse, both blind following and absorbed inquiries are condemned. Not only should one hear submissively from the spiritual master, but one must also get a clear understanding from him in submission and service and inquiries. A bona fide spiritual master by nature, very kind toward the disciple. Therefore, when the student is submissive and is always ready to render service, the reciprocation of knowledge and inquiries becomes perfect. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmenitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The verse once again. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. So once again, Hare Krishna to all of you. Thank you so much for joining. This is a very, very important verse of the Bhagavad Gita, wherein we learn the importance of a bona fide spiritual teacher, not just any spiritual teacher, but bona fide spiritual teacher. And as we read in Srila Prabhupada's purport, he very clearly explains, excuse me, that first of all, we need to understand what is my goal in life. If we can figure out and understand that The goal of human form of life is to become self-realized. So if that is our goal, then Bhagavad Gita is for us. And the path of self-realization is very difficult. We need guidance. So Krishna is explaining to Arjuna for our benefit that if we want to become self-realized, we need to approach a bona fide spiritual master, not just any spiritual master. So the million-dollar question is, who is bona fide? Just like, when we want to, enroll our children in school or college, or, in universities, we need to find out if that school or college is bona fide. Is it connected to the Board of Education? If it is not connected to the Board of Education, then it is not bona fide. So we do the research, we try to find out which is the best bona fide school, and then we enroll our children. Same goes for spirituality. If we want to be on the spiritual path, if we want to become self-realized, then it is important to have a teacher. We always get a teacher when we want to learn music, dancing, singing, software, karate, judo, whatever it may be. We look for a bona fide teacher, someone who is certified, someone who's trained, who's experienced. The same goes for spiritual teacher also. So who is bona fide? How do we figure that out? So Krishna explains that it has to be in strict disciplic succession. We learned in the beginning of this chapter, evam parampara praptam, that this spiritual science comes down in parampara and disciplic succession. If you read the last part of the introduction of Bhagavad Gita as it is, you will get the whole list of the parampara or the disciplic succession. I'll post it for you in the chat so you can see the parampara. You see, this is how the knowledge has come down. It has come down from Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna gave it to Brahma, Brahma gave it to Narada, Narada gave it to Vyasa. And it comes down in strict disciplic succession from guru to disciple to disciple to disciple. And we see number 32 is Srila Prabhupada. Now your question may arise, am I bona fide? Because I am speaking about the Bhagavad Gita. Am I bona fide? Well, the disciple of Srila Prabhupada is Gopal Krishna Maharaj, and I am his disciple. So I'm connected in this parampara, in this strict disciplic succession. So bona fide authority is very important. So when we accept anyone as a spiritual teacher, we definitely need to inquire, do some research. Okay, if so-and-so is saying is a bona fide spiritual master, okay, who is your guru? Who is his guru? Who is his guru? Does that line go all the way to the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna? You see? Now, what is the importance of having a bona fide teacher? There are two things. One is the authenticity of the data is maintained. The guru does not change the knowledge and give it to the disciple. So the authenticity is maintained, and the knowledge, second thing is knowledge comes down as it is. That is why the Bhagavad Gita that we follow is Bhagavad Gita as it is. No changes, no interpretations, no opinions, no additions, no subtractions. Why? Because Bhagavad Gita are the words of the Supreme Lord. We are imperfect beings. We cannot give perfect knowledge. He is perfect. So he is giving us that perfect knowledge, which is coming down in disciplic succession. Because we have these defects, we cannot manufacture a process for self-realization. No, it's not possible. Like Prabhupada says in the purport, it's not possible to become self-realized just by, reading books or hearing like audio books. No, a spiritual teacher is necessary. Now, there are two other points, many points, of course, but two other points that Srila Prabhupada mentions. The purport is there should be no absurd inquiries. They should not be absorbed. They should be intelligent inquiries, like, who am I? Or why am I suffering in this material world? Or why am I in the material world? How can I break the cycle of birth and death? How can I become self-realized? These are the intelligent inquiries, you see. Not that we approach a bona fide spiritual teacher and make an absurd inquiry like, when will I get my promotion? That's what the bona fide teacher is for. He is there to explain to us the science of spirituality. He is there to guide us to become self-realized. He is there to explain to us who is God. He is there to explain to us these scriptures like the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. So, and another point is that when we inquire, there has to be submission. It should not be a challenging question. We inquire submissively. That is very, very important. Because if we do not inquire submissively, our mindset will automatically change. Then, even though the answer to our question is perfect, the mind will not accept it. Why? Because our consciousness is contaminated. So it should not be a challenging inquiry, a submissive inquiry, and also render service. You see, inquiry and service equals to spiritual understanding. Now, if that is our goal, we want to understand, who is God, who am I, have all these questions. We want to realize ourselves, then these are very two important parts of spiritual path. Now, what is the qualification of a bona fide spiritual master or a guru? The qualification is that he is in the parampara, in the strict disciplic succession. Like I posted the whole list of the parampara in the chat. We need to figure out who is the teacher who I am wanting to accept. Is that teacher connected in this parampara? For instance, I have all these bulbs lit in my room, and I buy $100 bulb. I don't know if there is a bulb that exists which is $100, but just imagine if there is $100 bulb. And I I put it over there, but it is going to light only when there is a connection. If there is a break in the connection anywhere, right from the bulb to the, whatever you call it, the socket, from here to the main line, from there to the main source of electricity, whatever it may be, if there is a break in a connection anywhere, that bulb is not going to light, even though it's an expensive bulb. It's not going to light. Connection is very important. A few weeks ago, I wanted to work on my laptop, prepare the lecture for the next week. And I could not turn it on. It wouldn't work. And so I called up my husband and I said, what should I do? Looks like my laptop is dead. I need a new one. And he just smiled. And he said, well, did you connect the power, the charger? I said, yes, I did. See, it is plugged in there in the laptop. And then He said, but did you put the plug in the socket? And I'm like, oops, that is what I forgot. If there is no connection, there's going to be no power to the laptop. So connection is very, very important. You see, if the connection is not there, then the knowledge that we are getting may be an interpretation. Oh, according to me, in my opinion, I think so. No. So the authenticity is very, very important. Now, as Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's the original spiritual master. All this knowledge has come down from him. Like Krishna told Arjuna in the first verse of this chapter, Imam Vivasvati Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyayam. That I first gave this spiritual science. He doesn't say, I gave this religion. He says the spiritual science was first given by me to sun god Vivaswan. And Vivaswan gave it to Manu. Manu gave it to Ikshvaku. And then it came down in through the saintly kings. See? So it is very, very important to figure out or find out if the teacher that I'm following is bona fide or not. You see? Why? Because the parampara, the disciplic succession, all the gurus in there, they maintain the knowledge as it is, and they are expert in guiding us the right way. See, they are the ones who can show us the path. I remember hearing a story. I'm not sure if I've already related it to y'all, but in a village in India, one time the zamindar, who's called, like a big guy who's kind of controlling the village, he lost his daughter's diamond necklace. Now, diamonds are very expensive. So he announced in the village that whoever finds that diamond necklace of my daughter will be rewarded. So all the villagers, they became so uh, enthusiastic about finding that diamond necklace because they wanted the reward. So everyone started searching here, there, everywhere. Now there was one villager, excuse me, there was one villager who saw the diamond necklace. He said, oh, there it is. I found it. And he found the diamond necklace in a pond of water. There was a small pond and there was a diamond necklace. And he dived into the pond to get the diamond necklace. And when he came out, there was no necklace in his hand. And he noticed, oh, the diamond necklace is still there in the pond. So he kept on diving again and again to get the necklace. And every time he came back empty handed. So he was confused. What is happening? Like, I mean, I am trying so hard. I can see the necklace, but I am not able to get it. So there was this saintly person walking by, and he noticed this, exercise of jumping in the pond, coming back, jumping in the pond, coming back. So he asked this villager, what are you doing? And the villager said, look, there's the diamond necklace in the pond. I'm trying to grab it and I'm unable to. So the saintly person smiled and he said, you're looking for the diamond necklace at the wrong place. He said, no, but can you see? There it is. He said, no, the diamond necklace is hanging on the branch of the tree up there. You are just grabbing the shadow. Whatever you are seeing in the water is the reflection of the necklace which is hanging up there. He said, oh, and then he climbed up and got the necklace. You see how that saintly person was able to guide that villager on what is reality and what is illusion. Reality was up on the tree and the illusion was in the water. That is our situation in this material world. We are in illusion. We don't know what is right, what is wrong. We don't know who we are. We don't know what to do with this human form of life. So the bona fide spiritual master can help all those who are lost in this world. How? By giving guidance. So spiritual path is difficult. That is why it's important to have a bona fide spiritual master. You see, just arguing, dry arguments or speculation, oh, in my opinion, and this and that cannot help one to become self-realized. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada talks about a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Dharmam tu Sakshat Bhagavad Pranite, that the religious principles are directly given by the Supreme Lord Krishna himself. We cannot manufacture it. We cannot progress in spiritual life by just independent studies. If we do not if we do not accept a bona fide spiritual master, we can get confused. We may end up listening to our mind. Remember, Krishna has told Arjuna that our mind can be our best friend or our worst enemy. If the mind is not trained, if the mind is not disciplined, then we can be misled. So it's important that we accept a bona fide spiritual teacher. Why? Because another important point is that the spiritual master, he knows the nature of the disciple. All disciples are not the same, right? Just like all patients don't have the same disease when they go to the doctor. When we see so many patients in the waiting area, they don't have the same disease. Maybe one or two may have the same, like a flu or whatever, but they come with different diseases. So also disciples are of different natures. Their state of mind is different. Their conditioning is different. So the spiritual master who is bona fide knows the nature of the disciple, and based on that, he guides the disciple. You see? So also the spiritual master is considered to be Uttama Adhikari, which means he's a pure devotee of the Lord. He has been selected to be in that disciplic succession, you see? And he's the one who has himself controlled his mind, body, and senses. Excuse me, I have a bad throat. In the scriptures, there's a very nice verse. Vacha vegam manasa krodha vegam, jivha vegam udarapastha vegam. You see, anyone who has controlled the vacha means speech, manasa means mind, krodha means anger. Anyone who has controlled all this, the senses, they are qualified to be a pure devotee and a spiritual master. And the spiritual master helps the disciple to break the cycle of birth and death. So it's important that we understand the purpose of human form. The human form of life is not for eat, sleep, and be merry. That even the animals do. They eat, maybe on the street. We may eat on a dining table with a fork and a spoon, on a knife or whatever, in a very sophisticated way. They sleep on the road. We sleep on posturepedic bed or, the number bed or whatever. But it's sleep. It's the same activity, right? We have babies. They have babies. We defend ourselves. They defend themselves. So what is it that we do different than these four activities? Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. We have philosophical intelligence. We can inquire. We have philosophical intelligence so that we can understand Bhagavad Gita, so that we can approach a bona fide spiritual master, inquire, you see, have a goal in human form of life. That is very, very important. And how should we approach? With complete surrender, not with a challenging attitude that, oh, you think you are a bona fide teacher? Let me take your test. Let me see how much do you know. Let me see if you have control over your senses. Oh, let me see what answers do you have to my questions. No. We have to approach with surrender. What is that surrender? That I don't know and I want to learn. But if we go with the attitude, I know it all, then we don't need a teacher, you see? So because we are defective pieces, as the scriptures say, we have tendency to cheat, we make mistakes, we have imperfect senses, and we are in illusion. So if we have these four defects, it is very difficult to become self-realized. You see? But the spiritual master can help us. Om Agyanatimiram Dasya. We chant that, right? Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. It is this bona fide spiritual teacher who helps to remove the darkness which is within us, darkness of ignorance. He's the one who can help us to reach the spiritual world. And Sakshat Dharitvena, even the Vedas confirm that these bona fide spiritual masters, they are coming directly from the Supreme Lord himself. You see? Sorry. So, what we learn from the Bhagavad Gita is the theory part. But to put it into practice, we definitely need a bona fide spiritual master. So, theory plus practicals equals to wisdom. That is when a person becomes wise. It's very difficult for us ordinary human beings to really figure out, on our own, how can I end the cycle of misery? 7 kinds of miseries, right? Birth, disease, old age, death. Miseries caused by body and mind. Miseries caused by other living entities. Miseries caused by material nature. These are the 7 miseries. How do I figure it out? A spiritual master, a bona fide spiritual master can help us to figure that out. Let me give you all, what would I call? I don't know what it is called. Let me give you, tell you a story and see if you can figure out the answer to the question or to the, I don't know what's the word. I'm not able to remember, but let me tell you the story. So there was this father, excuse me, who had 3 sons. And he was about to die, and he called all his 3 sons and told them, whatever I own, please divide it amongst all 3 of you. But this is how I want it to be divided, that the oldest son will get half of what I have, the middle son will get 1/6 of what I have, and the youngest one will get 1/9 of what I have. So you got it? Half, 1/3, 1/9. This is the formula. So after the father passed away, they tried to figure out what is it that he has left behind for us. And he was told, the children were told that your father has left behind 17 cows. Now, I would like you to calculate and let me know, how would you divide 17 cows? Half, 1/3, 1/9. Think about it. How would you do that? I know it's confusing yourself. How do you? Say, for instance, the oldest son gets half of 17 cows.
Hare Krishna Gita ji. They will add 1.
No, you know it so. You know it. So I wanted others to figure out. I think you gave away the answer. Does anyone else know? 17, you give half of 17 to the oldest. How do you do that? Do you cut one cow into half and give him, 8.5 cows? What do you do? Does anyone have the answer? You can put your hand up. Otherwise, I'll give you the answer. Leela Vasani has already given us a hint.
Maybe donate 1 cow to somebody else.
No, you are very close to it. You're very close to it. Instead of donating, you add one cow. So there was this saintly person who gave them this guidance that you cannot divide 17 cows. So you borrow one cow from the neighbor, make it 18. Okay. Now, once you have made it 18, half of 18 is 9. Give 9 cows to the oldest one. 1/3 of 18 is 6. So you give 6 cows to the middle one. And 1/9 of 18 is 2. Give that to the youngest. So how much? 9 plus 6 is 15 plus 2 is 17. And then return that one cow back to the neighbor. Does that make sense? You see? Otherwise, how would you divide? So it was this saintly person, the guru, who was able to guide them how to divide the cows as per the father's desire. It's very difficult for us to figure out what's going on in our lives. We think we can figure it out, but from experience, I can say we are still figuring it out. We're still figuring it out. Why am I getting old? Why do I get diseased? Like right now, I have very bad throat. Why did I get that? Or what's the solution for that? So we are figuring it out. But if we have a bona fide spiritual master, not for ailments or, or I don't have a spiritual master who I approach and say, oh, can you please tell me how can I cure my throat, sore throat? No, he's there. So I can inquire, how can I progress in my spiritual life? And the best part is, the bona fide spiritual master, he himself sets a good example. Now, the original spiritual master is Krishna himself. And when he came down 5,000 years ago, he set a good example. He would himself wake up early in the morning in Brahma Muhurat and he would chant. He would chant his own names just to show us how we should lead a human form of life, setting an example. He himself accepted a bona fide spiritual master, Sandipani Muni. When Krishna came down 500 years ago as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he accepted a bona fide spiritual master, Ishvara Puri. Now, if you see the list that I posted in chat about the whole list of bona fide spiritual teachers, you will see those who joined a little late. Here it is again. You will see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is listed number 22. And above him is number 21, his spiritual master, who is Ishvara Puri. So he also, even when the Lord comes down, he accepts a bona fide spiritual master. And the satisfaction of spiritual master is the secret to success in spiritual life. And what pleases or satisfies the guru is following his instructions. You see? So inquiry and service equals to proper combination of spiritual understanding. See, the genuine desire of the spiritual master is to guide the disciple. And when the guru sees that the disciple is understanding and genuinely trying to be self-realized, then the guru gives the blessings, you see. So when we understand the importance of a bona fide spiritual master, we should also understand it should not be blind following, because accepting a guru is not a fashion. It's not a title that we can, be proud of, that, oh, I have a guru. Guru, especially a bona fide guru, is meant for guiding us on the spiritual path. You see, it's not blind following. And spiritual master is very kind. When he sees our sincere endeavors, when he sees that, yes, we are suffering in this material world, and it is because of illusion, so he gives us a simple formula that can, when we follow that formula, then we become happy, we become enlightened, we become self-realized, you see. And Krishna is giving us that guidance in this verse, today's verse number 34 of chapter 4, where he's saying that you approach a bona fide spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, render service unto him, and that bona fide spiritual master can enlighten us. You see? Now the question may arise, why should I do service? Is it that the guru is, has a desire to be served? No. When there is a service attitude, then one develops humility. One becomes humble. And that is why service is important. And spiritual master, he in return gives us knowledge. He's our best friend. Like Krishna tells, well, we learn in chapter 5 towards the end, where he says, Bhoktaram Yagna Tapasam Sarvalokam Maheshwara Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Gnatva Mam Shantim Richati. Shanti means peace. Anyone who can understand Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is a Suhridam. That means he is our best friend. He is situated in our hearts as the Super Soul, Paramatma. And when he sees our sincere desire to approach a bona fide spiritual master, then he helps us, he showers his mercy. And then we will be able to, be on the right path for self-realization. And the best part is the bona fide teacher is just repeating whatever he or she has heard from the guru. And whatever that guru has given to the disciple is whatever he or she has learned from their guru. So the knowledge is coming down as it is. See? So when we take this guidance, it can lead us to enlightenment. So first instruction of the spiritual Lord, Master and the Supreme Lord is the same. Satatam Kirtayanto Mam, that we should chant, because when we chant the holy names, it helps us to become purified. It helps us to control our senses. You see, if we are chanting every day, very good. If we are not, then we should start chanting, because it will help us towards self-realization. And guess what? There'll be no loss at all. So these are some of the points that Krishna is talking about, Srila Prabhupada is talking about, the importance of a bona fide spiritual master. And the first step for self-realization is mantra meditation. Meditation is very, very important. What kind of meditation? In this Kali Yuga, the meditation recommended is Harinam, which is chanting the holy names of the Lord. You see? So we will chant maybe just 10 times to get an idea about how to chant and what to chant. In the chat, I have put the mantra, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So my humble request is, please chant with me. We just chant 10 times. And then when you have time, you can chant more. So there are 108 beads in this mala. We call it the mala. And the whole Maha Mantra is chanted on each bead. For instance, like this. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So you see, I chanted 10 times. So please try to chant 108 times. It takes about 8 to 10 minutes. And the more you chant, the more you will get benefit. It helps us to purify our heart, mind, and senses. So I am going to end now. And if anyone has any questions or comments, you are very welcome to